Arsenal are simply scintillating, and I've got a bit of an apology to make towards the Gunners. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. Do me a favour, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Both things are always and forever be greatly appreciated. And also get involved in the comment section on this whole Arsenal thing. Let me know about Arsenal performance last night. Let me know about Arsenal as a whole, and let me know about the title race that is really heating up as we're heading into the run-in of this current Premier League campaign. That's what we're going to talk about today. Arsenal Football Club. Last night, absolutely scintillating stuff. Liquid football, liquid gold in the form of beautiful football. That was scary to watch and beautiful to watch. And ultimately, they absolutely smashed Sheffield United to pieces. They absolutely dominated right from the first whistle, right the way through to the last. And Sheffield United stood no chance. They may as well have forfeited the game and just stayed at home, because Arsenal were completely dominant last night in what was an incredible victory, an incredible win for Mikel Arteta's side in terms of performance level and in terms of obviously aiding their and helping their goal difference, which, you know, depending on how the season works out towards the end, could be vitally important come the Premier League title race that is yet to come in the run-in stage and the final stages of this current campaign. We're going to be talking about Arsenal. We're going to be talking about last night. We're going to be talking about the title race and everything else in between in this video. So without further ado, let's get on with the video. Look, last night was incredible. And like I always say in these kinds of videos, I will always be open, honest, and will give my 100% honest and pure opinion. I may be a bit of a rival in terms of this Premier League title race, being a Liverpool fan, but I will always be open and honest when it comes to other teams. For Arsenal, I'll get the apology out of the way and done with. I apologise for questioning your attack so much this season. I was worried that your attack would falter and stutter, and yes, there is time for that to obviously still come true towards the end of the campaign, especially as obviously the pressure heats up and, you know, the intensity intensifies. But I do apologise for questioning your attack, because your attack in recent weeks has been truly scintillating. It has been incredible to watch, and you have been absolutely ruthless in dispatching teams left, right and centre. That's my apology out of the way. Here's where I am honest about Arsenal. I still worry about Arsenal in terms of when it comes to the pressure moments. Can they handle that pressure? They obviously have the experience of obviously last season it not working out so well. I have the belief that obviously you learn from those experiences and you come back stronger. I've seen it with Liverpool when we lost the Champions League final in 2018. We came back 2019 and we won it. We come so close to winning the Premier League title in that season as well. We won that the following season in 2020 as well. So I have firmly believe, but I question whether Arsenal can handle it or not. And of course, these next couple of game weeks are going to be huge for the Premier League title race, because obviously they're going to put together two contenders in two particular games. Liverpool, Man City is coming up this weekend, and then after the international break, Man City go up against Arsenal. Two huge games that could determine where the Premier League title may or may not go, depending on the outcomes of those games. But last night was truly scintillating from Arsenal. 6-0, absolutely dominant, 6 different goal scorers. One of them was actually Sheffield United, to be fair. But no, absolutely fantastic, incredible stuff from Arsenal. They deserve all the credit in the world for how good their football is, how beautiful it is on the eye, and how truly dominant and relentless and ruthless they have been in recent weeks and months. Because let's face it, around about the Christmas New Year period of time, things were not looking so great for Arsenal. Arsenal lost a few games and people were starting to question, myself included, whether or not Arsenal were actually good enough to win the Premier League, whether they were going to have enough to hang with the likes of Liverpool and Manchester City, whether or not Mikel Arteta had actually reached his ceiling in regards to where he could take Arsenal. They've, since losing in the FA Cup to Liverpool in the third round, they have been relentless. They've been dispatching teams left, right and centre. They've been playing some excellent football, and they've been dominating games in comfortable and smooth sailing fashion. 100% understand, 100% guarantee. Here's my issue with it. they played, with the exception of Liverpool, teams that had either hit a really bad patch of form and they played them at the right time, or they are just playing poor teams in general. I'm not trying to take anything away from Arsenal, I'm just being honest, because it all ties in with, it's alright playing this way when the pressure's off, but what about if the pressure really does intensify and really does come down heavily on the shoulders of those Arsenal players? Can they handle it the way that obviously they didn't do last season when it mattered most, when the run-in was in high gear, and of course they bottled it in the end? Because right now they aren't in the ascendancy in the title race. They haven't got the advantage in the title race. Liverpool do. Man City obviously have history, and so many people are still putting them as favourites. Arsenal are considered, out of the three of them, to be somewhat outsiders. Even though they've been playing exceptionally well, even though they've been scoring plenty of goals, they are still considered somewhat of the outsiders because a lot of the media don't like them, a lot of fans don't like them, and their history suggests that, you know, maybe they aren't in the best position. But right now, with the pressure off, they have been exceptional to watch. But here's my thing on this. My thing on this is simple. You're dispatching teams, like I say, that have been in poor form or just being exceptionally poor. With the exception of Liverpool, obviously, the Liverpool result was brilliantly done and was well managed and was a near enough perfect game plan and perfectly executed to an extent. I just worry, because look at the teams that you have beaten. Nottingham Forest, Crystal Palace, Burnley, who I put on par with Sheffield United. The 6-0 last night was exceptional, but Sheffield United have been conceding 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 goals or whatever it was to the likes of Aston Villa and Brighton, and even Arsenal themselves put 5 against them earlier on in the season, and Newcastle put 8 against them as well. And you know, I don't want to take anything away from Arsenal too much, but at the same time, Sheffield United are down. Sheffield United, with all due respect, are down. They are probably one of the worst teams to have come up to the Premier League from the Championship in a long time. They are pretty much down. Their goal difference, their goals against, their defensive record, whatever way you want to put it, is extremely poor. Arsenal smashing them last night was no surprise. We obviously applaud Arsenal for the way that they played and things, but like I say, they have been dispatching teams left, right and centre that have been on a similar sort of level or just as much poor as, or just slightly better but still pretty poor, or they've found teams at the right time to play them. You look at Burnley, they're on level, in my opinion, with Sheffield United. You look at Newcastle, perfect time to play them when they smashed them 4-1. You look at Crystal Palace, they have been poor for the majority of this season. Again, just not relegation candidates, but I think they will stay up. But again, near enough the bottom of the table. Nottingham Forest, they could be down this season. You know, I'm not trying to take anything away from Arsenal. I'm just saying that it's okay to play this way when the pressure is off. It's okay to play this way when no one's really paying any attention to you. But over the next few weeks, it really, really could intensify for Arsenal. Starting this weekend, Liverpool take on Manchester City. Then after the international break, you know, Liverpool will sit back and watch Arsenal and Manchester City go head to head. You can argue that maybe some of these teams that I've mentioned aren't being dispatched by the likes of Liverpool and Man City in a similar sort of fashion to what Arsenal are. And that's, you know, a perfectly reasonable argument. But I wouldn't say that City and Liverpool were ever worried in these games. Of course, Liverpool have their team stretched as it is, but they seem to be getting by week after week, and it's so demoralising for teams around them. And we should know what that's like, because we saw it with City for a number of occasions, and then on the one season where we actually did win the Premier League title, City were in that position as well, watching Liverpool just dispatch teams left, right and centre by hook or by crook, by any means necessary. We know what it's like. City know what it's like. Arsenal don't necessarily know what it's like, because obviously they were leading for so long last season that when eventually City caught up with them, the Premier League title was pretty much out of their hands before they even realised it. That's where my concern for Arsenal does kick in now. It's not necessarily do they have the players and capabilities to win it, it's whether or not they can handle the pressure and whether the mentality is there and whether or not other outside interferences will occur. You know, it's been a slow start by Arsenal, but it's one that has been a slow burner and then it gradually has now exploded. Will they keep up that same energy, that same style of play, that same way of playing throughout the course of the run-in, or have they gone too early? The international break can be a momentum killer. It's a big symbol of obviously what's to come in club football, because it's like the last one before the run-in happens and before we get to the final leg of the season. I get that. It's a big symbol of that, but it also can be a giant momentum killer. And I just wonder whether or not Arsenal may have gone a little bit too early in that aspect, whether or not Man City will shift through the gears as much as they have done, or whether or not Liverpool will just continue to find ways to win with the squad that they have at their disposal because of obviously all the injuries that they have. And obviously they are getting players back, but, you know, even I'll tell you, it's Liverpool. So who knows how long that will last before the injuries start to obviously not take people down like flies again. So it's really interesting, the title race. I'm going to do something over the international break in regards to the title race and obviously talk about it more. Because obviously we'll be reaching the run-in then. We'll be reaching the final stages of the season after that international point. And I'll be obviously doing a who do you think will win the title race sort of thing during that international stage at some point. But for Arsenal right now, like I say, I have nothing against Arsenal apart from some of their fans. They are really weird, and some of them were losing their head over the somewhat slight controversy that occurred during the Liverpool game against Forest, in which Liverpool were 1-0 winners. I do have some problems with their fans, but apart from that, I don't have a problem with Arsenal as a team. I don't have a problem with what Mikel Arteta's done. I've been one of the firmest believers in Mikel Arteta that he will change around the fortunes of Arsenal, and he's done exceptionally well to get them to where they are right now. Could they win the Premier League title? Look, of course they could. City haven't been entirely convincing, and I do wonder how far Liverpool can go with the current state of their squad and everything. Are they being stretched too much? That is the question for another day, maybe. But like I say, I cannot take away anything from Arsenal right now. They are playing exceptional football. It is a joy to watch. They are scary at times. They are ruthless at times. My only concern for them is that right now they are able to do that because the pressure is off. There is no pressure on Arsenal to succeed now, because the later we've gone into the season, the more the advantage is shifted onto the likes of Manchester City, who are expected to go on this mad, unbelievable, indestructible, invincible run from now till the end of the season, as they normally tend to do when they shift through the gears in all competitions to go on and win major silverware. And of course Liverpool, who are in the ascendancy. They have the advantage. They are currently level on games with everyone, but are ahead on points of everyone. So that's where the majority of the pressure has shifted onto those two clubs. Arsenal are somewhat still considered outsiders, mainly by the media. I think, honestly, I just believe that if the media really want to shift this Arsenal or test the mental strength of Arsenal, which they seem intent on doing by continually not giving them credit, continuously extinguishing any sort of praise that they should deserve, go the other way. If they're that intent about it, I say go the other way and start praising them massively. Stop praising them massively and then see what happens from there. But no, they won't do that, obviously. I do think they deserve their flowers. I do think they deserve huge praise for what they have done this season, the way that they've gone about their business this season. Like I say, it's going to just be telling over the next few weeks what is going to be in Arsenal's season come the end of the campaign. Champions League, look, I don't think they'll have enough about them to win that competition. They've really got to put all their eggs, in my opinion, in the Premier League basket. I I still rate Man City to be favourites when all is said and done. As much as I want to say Liverpool, I still rate Man City as the favourites, just purely now based on history and over the course of recent seasons, which have seen obviously the City, like I say, go from strength to strength in these really crucial moments of the campaign. But, you know, Arsenal still have a chance. They still have a shot. And they've really got to play it smart from this point forward. Beating Manchester City, doing the double over City, would be an incredible statement. And of course, depending on what happens between Liverpool and City this weekend, it could be a massive point in the Premier League title race for what is to go forward. But look, Arsenal deserve all the praise in the world. They've absolutely smashed Sheffield United last night. They deserve a lot of praise for the football that they're playing. It's absolutely scintillating and red hot at times. And, you know, it is a joy to watch. And we shouldn't really be dismissing it completely. But like I say, I still think there are bigger tests on the horizon for Arsenal. And much bigger, a lot of pressure, obviously, to come for the Gunners in the running aspect of the campaign. And look, those are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of Arsenal? Their 6-0 victory last night over Sheffield United, the incredible win that was, the Premier League title race, and everything else in between. I'd love to know your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it in regards to this story down below in the comment section, because we're sure it'll make for interesting and great reading. Otherwise, hit that like button on the way out if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new or want to see more content like this. Both things are always and forever be greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video, and I'll see and speak with you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll speak to you all again very, very soon.